June 10th. New to the world 2017, the day my mom passed. That's when I really opened up my eyes. The first day it all felt like a dream. The second couldn't breathe. The third I just broke down and screamed, knowing everything and really what it seems. I had to get up. I had to brush off and realize that this world won't stop my enemies. Until the kitchen head ripped up the word lazy. Got on my knees and pray for all the ones that tried to play me. I thought about my baby. Instead of flipping out when she trip, I'ma let my baby mama act crazy. You see how far I am? Looking back, I'm feeling strange. Instead of life was stuck in the matrix playing the game. And I'm the one to blame. But now that I'm stuck with the most hurt, whoever knew that I'd be immune to pain. So now that I'm able to spread the word, don't let nobody say you can't say it. They always violating. All up in your space when you don't got no choice because they so good at the hating. It's best to watch everybody from a distance because it ain't too many real ones around for the mentions. You everybody cause and everybody been new you just to get a little closer. It's one big competition. Just smile like you ain't paying attention. Notice that they all want attention. Just let the Lord forgive them. It's crazy because the ones that know me know we gon' eat. I'm just trying to live through without going back to the prison. I got kids, the Lord knows I'm a Muslim. I'm already down, it's too late to play the victim. Every time they search his felonies in the system. So the route that I took on these real ones fit. And now I'm so glad.
One more go again.
Dear Lord, I need you to watch over me. Because of my every day, you are this hate. As I elevate and I motivate, when I have the best day that they can every day. Hey, drop down on my knees, I pray. I'm not promised to see the next day. Lost souls and the world praise. Dear Lord, I need you today. It's all hate with no love today. Look outside and see no kids play. Positive messages and all I say. Dear Lord, I need you today. I'm no haters to bless my enemies. I'm hated, but still you get this love from me. I'm a king when I'm out here in the streets. Others out, but I believe in me. I go all out, but I have no glory. It's because nobody really listens to the story. I judge what I do because I love my people. And after I'm gone, there can't be no sequel. I live a hard life, got my head up. One thing I can't do, and that's give up. My whole life seems to be a testimony. A lot seem to have, but they really don't know me. Elevate, motivate, till the day I die. And if I don't win, at least I tried. You can see the pain when you look at eyes. And when I go through faith, you can see me rise. Drop down on my knees, I pray. I'm not promised to see the next day. Lost souls and the world praise. Dear Lord, I need you today. It's all hate with no love today. Look outside and see no kids play. Positive messages and all I say. Dear Lord, I need you today. Nah, these people can't stand my energy. Can't help myself cause I'm just a Lundy. I deal every day as they push me. Cool, calm, collective, but they miss me. A lot of things kept me peaceful. Now I fight every day not to be so vengeful. Sit at my table with my pencil. I wanna be good, do good, and not so sinful. Create melodies to soothe me. I keep to myself, just let me be. I woke up, things really got messed up. I may have stumbled, but I didn't spill my cup. Wake up to bake up, wait, no, I didn't get beat up. Sending these prayers up, this world so corrupt. Fight, so you fight, fight, so you fight, and never give up.
What's up? Give me one more minute, man. Dealing with some things over here. Huh.
Staring at the walls in this four-cornered room at night. I cannot sleep, nigga. I'm about to lose my mind. So many battlefields lost to end up behind bars for some shit I never did. These bitches and my stars. I'm a blood, not a rapist. You might hate this music, but I ain't the one to blame. So let's face it, you made us this way from the cradle to the grave. And we're tired of being slaves to a system that hates us. Dictates what to think. You spend a last day, and then you wonder why we can't trust. It's evident they keep us intoxicated and dumb. Little nigga rich for the book and put away your gun. And we might soon take the fight through the White House. Give them a piece of a mind and put their lights out. And as we walk up, they're watching this cuss, cause they never give a fuck about us.
As I sit,
Staring at the doors in this four-corner
in my phone corner,
and I'm counting the days.
as I sit,
In this four-corner
in my phone corner,
Some things don't change, it's better to let them go. Some niggas will turn and try to hurt you whenever you let them know what you go through. Get ready to go to war, keep your friends close, so your enemies ain't wrong whenever you make moves. Be prepared for the worst, and if you love, be prepared to get hurt, but that's worth it. Never trust the cop or the authorities, cause they don't give a fuck about minorities. And if you gotta beat the saddle, know the man's up, unless you know the niggas are not something you can't trust. Then bust the flee, cause you know the judge never spent a fucking day on these streets. Don't let your heart turn cold, little nigga, cause they don't wanna see you grow old, little nigga. And as we raise up, they watching this guts, cause they never give a fuck about us.
as I sit,
Staring at the doors in this four-corner
in my phone corner,
and I'm counting the days.
as I sit,
In this four-corner
in my phone corner,
and I'm counting the days.
as I sit, in my phone corner, as I sit, in my phone
All right, man. I don't know where yet. I don't know if he's coming or what, but we're tinkering and tapping and such. So anyway, man, let's get into this. Turn it down. That little whistle. Annoying. What's up, cuz? How you doing, man? Where you been, man? It's good to see you, Dennis, man. Hopefully you stick around for the whole show, man, because I would definitely love some insight from you, man, on this topic. But let's get into this topic, speaking of which. Let's see what's going on here, man. question on the floor is, I don't know why people send me all this stuff on Facebook. It's like right as I'm starting to start streaming stuff. But in any case, so all right, so building accountability for children. All right, parents need to hold their kids accountable. Basically, is what we're getting at. Join us as we explore the practical ways to help children understand responsibility, making better choices, right? And grow through clear guidance and consistent accountability. So, my question is this, right? Let's start with a question. How many parents? How many parents? How many of us as parents, honestly, hold our kids accountable for their behaviors, um, their choices, and their choices and or decisions, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? Um, Times have changed drastically. Um, when I was a youngster, our parents held us accountable. The neighbors held us accountable. Um, Pretty much all your elders held you accountable. Um, Nowadays, it's like being a kid. Being a kid nowadays is pretty much like it's almost like a free for all. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, hey, I'm a kid, so you get a pass on everything. Um, and one's got a question, you know, someone's got to wonder, like, how can we as excuse me, as adults, how can you sit back and say, um, how can you sit back and say, oh, the kids today are bad, or oh, the kids are this generation is horrible. And I think that's something that every generation has worded. But the thing about it is the past generations, it's safe to say that they did their part um, in rearing their children and holding kids accountable because it didn't have to be necessarily a parent. Um, but in the world today, it's very minimal of that. It's kind of sad. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my. All right, there we go. Yeah, all right, there we go. All right, that's fair. Got it. So, oh. All right, all right, Ann, I got you. So, being that you are significantly, I don't want to make it sound like you're a dinosaur or anything like that, but being that you're significantly older than me, um, I would say the generation before me. Dennis, what's your take on that? You know what I'm saying? What do you give us some feedback on that? In fact, are you okay with being on camera or being pulled into the conversation? If so, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Try and get you. All right, gotcha. All right, we'll do. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see what I can see. I can work this here. All right, there's that. All right, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to reach you real quick. All right, check your message, if you will, and that'll get you here. It's easier to talk to you this way, or actually bring the guests in, um, seeing as you haven't ever gone live on TikTok, so that's not an option for you at this point. It's kind of crazy how they make you have a certain amount of followers or whatever have you before you can do all that. Kind of defeats the purpose, if you ask me. But yeah. So um back to this accountability thing. So like essentially now it's like in this generation it's more of a the parents are more into what is it called? Soft parenting, I guess is what I think is what it's called. But this is what I don't understand. When you ask a person about this soft parenting thing, right? Um, like like I'm old school, so what's up, Alec? Thanks for joining. I'm old school, so my thing is this, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Um, one thing that we have seen, Lo Wilkins, thanks for joining. Um, one thing that we have seen is that, hey, now, what's going on, sir?
Do you have me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Um, I was just saying the change in the generation, man. By you being significantly older than me, um, maybe you could give some insight, generation before myself or whatever have you. But like
Yeah.
the way things are now is, and I'm it's crazy because we've all heard the adage that says, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? But it doesn't make any sense to say, seeing that this I think it's called soft parenting, seeing that this soft parenting doesn't work. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of it, it's kind of crazy, but you see the government kind of backing it or supporting it, almost like they're pushing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, so at what point do these parents now who are soft parenting, not holding their kids accountable for their actions, their behaviors, and their decisions, um, at what point do you say, you know what? I mean, at some point you got to say, I'm tired of taking an ass whooping from my own kid, or I'm tired of my kid tearing up my house or walking all over. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense to me. You get what I'm saying? So, like, what's your take on it?
Well, that's a deep question, man. If you don't mind, I'm gonna start where it started for me and what I observed.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, family was family. Blackness was, togetherness. Took a village to raise a family. And so culturally, we had to pull together because it was the ways that was of old, before colonization, of
Okay.
course.
Mhm.
So the traditions and everything, and the upbringings, the values that my grandparents, your grandparents, all of us, we had that. We didn't have, but until later when I was coming up, 3 to 4, TV stations, you see.
Right, right.
So, there wasn't anything like outside sources like what we got today that I say influence, the people,
Okay. Okay.
So our people, eventually got influenced by a lot of things that, of course, they seen, they heard, watch on TV. The MTV, came out, and everybody was trying to be like, what they seen, in the mainstream,
Right.
So uh, you know, so it's all had a psychological effect on family and what, children and people think they ought to have and should have, when having nothing, in a sense, is the best way to, actually keep a family.
Okay.
Because when, the family starts seeing outside sources and everything.
Lost your audio. Uh-oh. Lost him. Let's see if we can get him back in there. All right, so Dennis. All right, we lost him. I'm not sure if his phone died or whatever have you, so we'll try and get a few minutes in here and see if we can get him back on. Um, in fact, what we'll do, we'll go to a brief commercial break. Um, see if we can get him back in here. So bear with us. Yeah. After these messages.
We've been through it all and that's alright. You were where you say you were tonight. Your friends said you were with her, that's a lie. Now look me in my face and deny it. Who was you with? Tell me, girl, who was you with? I ain't believing this shit. Have you been sleeping with him? I gotta know. Tell me how long has it been? You got the potential of a wife. I fell in love with making sure that our love never dies. I can't have any girl in the world, but I sacrificed it all for you. And I made up my mind, I've been love this time and it feels so real. I made you leave, try you fall out of love. You let emotion get the best of us. Girl, if you leave, you just keep in touch. I guess my good just wasn't good enough. I don't want a life without you. What is this life without you? I cannot be without you. I cannot breathe without you. You just keep in touch. I guess my good just wasn't good enough. What if I told you that you let me down? How do you expect me to respect you now? Girl, you got me.
All right, welcome back to Tell It Like It Is podcast. We had a little technical difficulty, so went to commercial. Lost our visitor. Dennis, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
What's
Love,
up? What's
cuz, nothing but love.
Beautiful, beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened on your end. If you want to finish what you were saying, let me touch up real quick and we'll get you back on that wavelength real quick. So the question at hand was we were speaking with Dennis Williams about he's significantly older than myself. In fact, if you don't mind telling the audience, how old are you, Dennis?
61.5.
All right, there you have it. So that's definitely a generation before me. So um I was asking him what was his input on the accountability or lack thereof with the parents and their children of today versus uh, how things were when he was a child or a teenager. Uh,
Well, yeah. But see the parents today have it harder than, like I was saying, than what my parents did. You know, my parents didn't have to compete with social media. They didn't have to compete with, TV programming, and they didn't. MTV didn't even come out until later in the day. You see,
correct, correct.
so and like I said, culturally, you got to remember, I was born in 65.
Okay,
1965, that was when Martin Luther King died, and other great leaders, and
facts.
shortly before that, you had, Mega Evers, and the list goes on. But
Yes,
um, nonetheless, we're culturally still connected to what we actually had, before colonization.
okay,
So family, and and the village, that it takes to, raise a family was all there,
mm,
and so we had nothing but love, and like I said, when you got outside, sources, influence, and stuff like that, you got
mhm.
to remember, first wave was, like on us was, liquor and stuff like that in every corner store. They
Right,
started weaponizing that, and then, next thing you know, they started bringing in, crack and stuff into our communities and shit. So that was just a continuous attack. Then you put, MTV in there, and then you got now, kids wanting what the other people got and stuff like that, and everybody want what the Jones got, and think that their kids are supposed to have it or want them to have it. I didn't have it when I was growing up, so I want my kid to have it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So, all the things except for what values and everything else that really it takes to build a family. So, a family is going to be, dedicated when they stick together and everything else, and they bonding. But if you ain't got kids bonding, and their family ain't bonding, and the parents don't know nothing, and they can't teach nobody nothing, they
right.
can't even bond with them over, a book, because most parents don't know how to read, you know.
Hmm,
So, I mean,
that's
they
heavy.
can't bond with them over education because they can't, they don't know math, or they, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So they can't bond with their kids and stuff like that, and then the grown folks, they still trying to chase their dream and not realizing that their dreams are supposed to be given up when they made that child, So, but unfortunately, the children, they grow up so fast, man, because they into everything like social media. Social media is raising kids. Games and
yeah.
PlayStations and stuff like that is raising the kids.
Mm,
So, lack of, bonding, family, bonding, period.
right.
You know.
So you believe or you feel uh so I guess the best way to say it is the state is the state uh do you believe that the state is wedging the family?
Well, as I stated, right, if one knows thyself, right,
Right.
and they know who they are, they will understand that they've been on, we've been being attacked ever since they came to this land, you see,
Okay.
and it won't stop. It ain't gonna stop, until our existence is gone, or literally your intelligence, because if you know exactly who you are, it's game over, you know. If people knew why they came here, it would be game over, And so, but people have lost so much, they being told what to think.
Right.
Don't nobody think for themselves, you
I
know,
agree. Right.
So and it starts like, first of all, like I said, at home. I'll tell you like this, bro. We didn't have nothing but friends at the time who had money,
Okay.
okay, that had Britannica, an encyclopedia or something. You couldn't even do your homework because we couldn't even afford an encyclopedia back in the day.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, so I don't diss anybody, really who is not aware, because a lot of information that even I should have had, that I could have passed on, wasn't available to us.
Okay.
you
Okay.
know so but the information that's been out for a while, and there's young people out there that done great excellent research and everything else, they
Mhm.
could tell people exactly who you are, and if you had a sense, I could tell you, but it doesn't stop the fact you got to do your own research. You got to know thyself. You got to know who you are, where you're from, and without knowing that, you just still run around here and lost, you
Right.
know,
Right.
lost, especially with religion, you know. Oh
Man.
my God, you know what I'm saying? The
Wow.
damage that they done to so many, the black community, especially the preachers who went to school and studied,
Okay.
those is the biggest frauds, because here it is, they know the history of their people, to a certain degree, and they preach a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So, you got young folks that don't believe in the church, and rightfully so. You got other adults that can't educate, teach the kids. Hell, some can't read,
Right.
you know. Hell, I mean, my grandfather, which would have been, I think, your great uncle,
Okay.
hell, he had, according to the Census Bureau, only a seventh grade education. You know,
Okay.
yeah, and your great aunt Dorothy, she had like a 10th grade education, but nonetheless, even the whites didn't have education back in them days. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? And then my father, he didn't even graduate high school.
Oh,
You
really?
see? Yeah.
Man.
And he had a problem with reading. So, you know, generationally, you hope and think that, and pray that, each generation gets better, wiser, smarter,
Hmm.
But a lot of people hold so much against, I guess, my generation, not knowing, the story, you
Right.
know. Like I have a daughter that come up and she going to school, college and shit, and she see all these white kids or whatever, or some rich, maybe black kids or whatever, and thinking that she's supposed to have a car like them instead of the car she had. Yeah,
So
she
she
wants
trying to
something
compete.
new,
Right. She trying to
you
compete right
know.
for yourself.
Well, you know what I'm saying? it's the outside influences. When they get out there in the world, they see things out there in the world. They
Mm,
think that, hey, but you don't know this. She don't know the story. Hell, if I had came from money, sure, I would have, maybe gave her a better leg up. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I believe in working for everything that you earn. That's where I come from.
right.
And shit, somebody leaving something to you, shit. Back in the day, it was a lot of times, people, once their spouse died and shit, the government came in or the mortgage company came in and swooped the home because the house had to be paid off within an X amount of time. Yeah. So I mean, you talk about people and you hear these young folks talking about generational wealth, motherfucker ain't leave me nothing. Shit, you know, and fuck having a family and thinking that you're gonna say, okay, I'm at my family and we'll all work together and we'll build generational wealth together. Hell no.
Mm.
Hell to the no, they all out for themselves.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
And some girls, I'm telling you, man, once they get a little dick, you know what the deal is. Next thing you know, they gone.
So let me
They ain't daddy's little girl no more.
so let me
You
ask this,
know,
right?
shit.
Being born in '65, right, up to present date, when did you first notice, or when did you become aware of the shift in the? When did you become aware of the lack of unity and the shift in the family?
Well, I'm from the right?
Right, right.
So I'll tell you like this: when there's no work, people have to get gone. You understand?
Right,
People gotta hustle. People gotta find a way. You see, if you look right at that time, what you had was like in Youngstown, right?
okay,
You know, how everybody came there was just because
still,
after, slavery and we still were dealing with Jim Crow, we were trying to find work wherever we could, right? So when they open up, plants like that, that was just a new form of slavery, right? And
right,
so what they would do is they'll build a manufacturing plant there, and then they'll build, like little homes all around it, communities, so the people just like on a plantation, you
right,
know, so people can go to work and do what they got to do, and then they come back home, and then they depending on that steel mill or whatever that industry it is that's going on there. And then when it's gone, right, there's no source of income, as
right, right.
and as you know now, and so Youngstown's a perfect example of it. A lot of people came from the South to come up north just to work up there, you see. And once they made their money, they went on back down south or whatever.
Right.
But a lot of people, they stayed right there in that area, hoping and believing that hey, it's going to revive and everything else. But it's all industry based. Wherever there's a corporation, that's where there're going to be jobs. And then you look at it, being minorities, right?
Hmm.
Black people is going to be, you know again, second to third class, the lowest class they can put us at when it comes to jobs.
Right.
And
Fine.
if we ain't got shit, how can we, if we don't have industries and shit, and anything that we build, right? Or any land that we try to have, they'll destroy it, or they'll claim eminent domain, whatever.
Mhm.
And so, those is the obstacles, that, we're facing in our, well, my ancestors, my father and them was facing
Right.
in them days.
Right. Right.
So, they if they be lucky to have a barber shop without having to pay the pigs, you know what I'm saying, just to keep it open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Jason to have it
Eh,
fire bombed and all this type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, So, and then people think that we so far removed. This all happened in my lifetime. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And
See.
everybody thinking we so far removed from, all the hardships and everything else. If you got it going on today, bruh, you know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
did something, you doing good.
Right.
But shit, the masses still left behind.
Big facts. Big facts.
Shit.
It's crazy that you say that people feel like it's so far or removed from it. Again, by you being 1965. So I found out. I'm 47 now. I found out at the last family reunion that
Mhm.
this side of the family is actually from down south. That we migrated up, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, so we're my great grandmother Gussie. Did you have the opportunity of meeting her?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm trying to find out who now Aunt Sharon. She knew about obviously. She would have known about because that was her grandma. That was my great grandmother.
Yeah,
But
she was a family historian.
yes, so at the family reunion is when I found out that great grandma Gussie was actually born on the plantation down in Carolina. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I was like, oh. And then when you say 1965, but then Jim Crow and all this, like, so it actually is like when you say not that far removed, it's like, yeah, for real, it is closer than we actually realize. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah.
It's nuts because we this is where it becomes weird. We hear about the oh yeah, man, 400 years of slavery, blah 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 blah. Okay, then we talk about slavery in 18 and that wasn't 400 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I could go on and on and on about history. You just
Right,
pick a certain point,
right.
right? Because when I retired, I dedicated, my time to, just that
Hmm.
truth and history. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But, when we go into talking about how, families are affected,
Okay.
bruh, look here. Only with AI here now too.
Yes.
No, you. So I,
Yes.
I tell you like this. If I could, all right, and if nothing else, plant the seed, right?
Hmm.
It really needs to be where we're catching, young people, all right, and having our own education system, just like we got HBCUs.
Okay.
We need to have that, at a younger age for our children. Um, you know, like I don't know, even a nonprofit or whatever it takes.
All right. Time out.
But
Or you just mentioned HBCUs. Mention, explain that or explain what that is for the viewers who don't know.
historically black college and universities.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Because
you
we're on the
know,
radio as well. So when you say that, some people may not be researching or may not be able to pull it up real quick. You know what I'm saying? So
no doubt. But yeah, they need to know their history.
facts.
They need to know where they come from, who they are, you know, um, you know, and I'm talking about, black children. Hell, even, Mexican and natives, if they want to participate, because it was all eventually, integration at some point.
Okay.
But, like you take the Mexicans, for example.
Hmm.
Before they were Mexicans, they were Aztecs, black people,
Facts.
Mayans, black people,
Correct.
but then when, you had Spaniards, which was, mostly a mulatto race due to the Moors, and everything else, right?
Hmm.
And they practiced Catholicism. Well, that's the reason why you have Mexico, and Mexicans following Catholic religion,
Fact.
just like, if you look at the doctrine of discovery, you'll see that, the English, along with the Vatican, the Pope, authorized, to conquer this nation, because we're not a Christian nation, yada yada yada, right? Giving them the authorization that they, not that they're authority, but they considered themselves an authority and came over here, and that was their whole mission plan, and that's the reason why Americans are Christians predominantly. So, um,
That's dope.
but yeah, but nobody's going to say, "Oh, let me find out how Christianity got here," and all this other shit. But what other people don't realize is also, what was this country before and who was here before, slavery.
Right.
That's just like, that's why everybody got upset with Jesse Jackson, okay? Because Jesse went out there and, everybody felt sold out because he called and said that we should be or we are now African American, you know,
Right.
and so, and any African will tell you, in the whole outside world to tell any black person that you're not African. They don't want you, they don't want to have no ties with you, okay? And reasonably so, right? You don't say like, oh, the black Aboriginal Australians were, they're African Australian. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We
You
we are
know, yeah.
we are the only denomination of people here that actually have to claim or actually have to identify um, what type of American we are. You don't see white Americans or you don't see uh, Irish American or Chinese American or Japanese American. It's just us. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of
Well, I'll tell you like this. My great grandfather, his census, right, back in 1920, right, and he was 26, right. So at that time, and on it was just black or white, right,
right.
and that's what we were labeled at. And you got to understand, shortly there before, right, there was the Dolls Act, right, where the government was separating race, separating us by color, skin color,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I know it's something.
And yeah, so then, they labeled us as black, right? Then later on, when I was born, right, my birth certificate says Negro, you see.
Hmm.
So, and my parents were Negroes.
Right. Then came.
So
Yep.
so you see, it wasn't no, now you got to distance yourself. And so now, like, people don't understand that all the information where these people came from, right? All right, they came from the west, the Middle East, basically,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
From Europe. Okay, so they had conquered everything over there, right? So they learned that there was trade routes, and they knew, the existing trade routes that there were. They knew there was a land that they couldn't find. It's even in the Bible, right? It was called Ophir, right? Ophir, right? So some people, they refer to us as the Atlanteans, right?
Okay.
But there was trade that existed long, long, long time ago, right? And if you look up Ophir, you'll find out all about what it is, right? But they knew all about the story of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? They knew all about that, but they wanted to know where they were. Where was this promised land? Where was all this gold coming from? Where was all the seeds, the animals and everything else that wasn't indigenous to that land? Because they wanted to know where it was at.
Right.
And so, if you look up Old Fur, you'll find out that they came for the gold. Just like when they got here, there was their main thing, the gold rush, right?
Hmm.
So, after enslaving and going to war and doing everything that they did, caused mayhem, genocide here. right? They
Okay.
knew all along. Even Christopher Columbus knew in his journal, he put it out too.
Yeah.
You know, that, yeah, they knew that we were the children of Israel that they spoke of. We didn't call ourselves the children of Israel, you
Right.
know. We were just God loving, God fearing people, you see, with communities and establishments, everything. There was no jail cells and shit like that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how tribes end up becoming nations. You know,
Mm.
so you had many tribes that was in the southeast, known as the tribe overall known as Judah. You know, so I could keep going on and on and on, right?
Right.
But you got to understand that the reason why they came here was because of the land. They knew who we were already, right? We just didn't know who they were talking about. And then, we fighting them for 300 years.
Right.
All right, our relatives were, so, you know, at the end of the day, they just wanted to survive.
Mm.
They wanted us to survive. And during the meantime, between time, you got to understand that when we were rooting for the Cowboys and Indians and shit like that, we were rooting against ourselves.
Right. Right.
We didn't. It ain't like those Siberian people that you've seen in the cowboy Indian movies is going to get out there and willingly get out there and play in Hollywood movies and shit and getting themselves killed and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Oh man, the history deep.
Yeah.
But
It is.
and all along we didn't know and didn't know that all along it was us that they were talking about. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now you got the what is it? The Jew people running around talking about they stole our identity and shit and saying that they're
No, those aren't
Semitic
Jews. Those
people.
are Jewish.
Yeah, but they're no way Semitic though.
Uh,
So
right.
first of all, you got to understand the white race
Hmm.
only been in existence to 4 to 5 thousand years.
Hmm.
So they can't they weren't they weren't nowhere near the beginning, you
Okay.
know. So when you're talking about lineage and you're talking about the book of Genesis, right? That means the beginning. There was no white men in the beginning, right? For millions of years, right? This whole earth from all four corners was nothing but black melanated people.
Right.
Can you dig it?
I'm with you.
So they didn't come into existence until about hell, I give them about 4,000 years, right? And
Okay.
yeah, everything I say, you fact check me on that, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? For real, I like it when people do that because I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
You
So
see?
here's my
Mhm.
here's my question to you. Right. I'm not a
Yes,
fact
sir.
checker. I mean, I do my own research, but I
Right on.
so my thing is do you have any reference books or any material that a person can actually go read? Any suggestions for people? For the people?
Man, what you saying, man? You got
Hey,
me about to get up now. Look at you,
what
boy.
you mean? What
You
you mean?
know, check it
Talk
out. Check it out. All right,
to
can
the
you
people,
see
man.
me?
Talk to the people.
Can you see me?
Of course I can.
Okay, all
But
right.
remember,
So,
we on the radio too, so they can't see you.
all right. So dig this, right? This here book. Can you see this one?
Um, Come back into focus. I can't see you. All
What's
right,
that?
Babylon.
Do I need to bring it closer?
Yes, keep
Okay.
coming. All right, it says Babylon. The
From Babylon to Timbuktu,
oh to Timbuktu. Okay, okay,
right? Now, this book, right? This here one is because people don't really like to read a lot,
okay.
but it gets straight to the meat and potatoes, right?
I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It lets you know that the world was black, right?
Okay,
So let me just keep going down the line. This one here, right? This is called Black Indians by William Loren Katz. Now, mind you, this is a white author,
okay,
okay? and he was non-biased and given a report, honest report, and references everything about the existence of our ancestors, right?
Mm-hmm.
This here guy, okay, now he's one of the greatest historians ever. His
Okay.
name is John Henrik Clark. And you can go on YouTube and watch any of his lectures and everything else. Hands down, nobody could beat him or this guy named Dr. Benjamin Yosef. Uh, Let me see. Yeah, right here. This one. Okay. This guy here, Dr. Yosef Ben Yohanan, right?
All right.
Now that dude, yeah, like I said, him and Dr. Clark, they're the best historians when it comes to telling you anything about the history of the world and how it was all black for millions of years before even white folks was even a thought, right?
All right.
Uh this is a book right here. It's called When the World Was Black. Okay. So that's a good book, man. And like I said, but you don't really need to read the whole thing to understand, you know.
Dig it. I can dig it.
This here This here book, you'll probably see it online and stuff like that. It's called The People's History of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is going to talk about when the history starting when Columbus came, right?
All right.
And all the way up to almost present. And I'll tell you like this, the first few chapters and everything else is hard to read because of how ruthless, Christopher Columbus was, right?
Mm. Okay.
Um, this here, it's a pretty good one. It's just like almost like the one I just showed you, a people's history. But when you see black AF, that just means black as fuck history,
Right.
right?
I saw that one on I saw that one on TikTok, and I also saw it on an
Yeah.
ad on Facebook.
Yeah, it's just the way the brother puts it. It's like a brother, just like me and you talking and conversing,
Okay.
and he putting out history, just like that one I was showing you about the people's history, right?
Right.
And but he puts it in a black people spin, so they can get down on it. This here is the histories of Herodotus, right?
Hmm.
Now, the histories of Herodotus, the reason why I got that is because I wanted to hear from a Greek perspective of what, the ancient, Kemites or, as you know, Egyptians,
Right.
what their society was like, basically a white man's perspective. This here is for anybody who is really want to get deep, right?
Hmm.
And this is the story of Osiris in the book Egyptian and the Egyptian resurrection, the first resurrection, right,
Right.
ever known. And so you'll find that this here is really deep. Much of where you get a lot of stuff from the Bible is in here,
Right.
but
Right.
you gotta remember that's long before the Bible. And of course, a lot of stuff that's in the Bible you can find written in stone on Egyptian wall.
Right. So
But this here, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so go back to Osiris for a second. So
Yes, sir.
I've done my research on Osiris as well as and I see you have the book. So let me ask you the question in
Mm.
front of the masses. Maybe you can confirm it, deny it, or after reading that book, is that essentially the how did you feel about it? Is it basically the story of Jesus before Jesus?
Well, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the story of Haru, which
Right.
was his son, is the story basically of Jesus,
There it is.
right?
Mhm.
But to take it even deeper and further, right? For the Egyptians, right, and during that time, right, even Haru or Horus,
Yeah.
right, that was constellation, right?
Mhm.
Everything was astronomical or scientifical with them, right? So
Right.
much is misunderstood, right? So, just like, we got you mind if I bring this back for a moment?
Go for it. Go
So
for it.
just like you got the right there, the serpent mounds in Ohio, for example, right?
Okay.
They're perfectly aligned with the Cygnus constellation, which is also the same alignment that you have for the pyramids in Giza,
Right.
right? Except for they called it, the falcon god, right?
Okay.
Cygnus is a bird formation astrologically, as well as the falcon god. So both of them, if you look at them, would be constellations, that they use to align, their the pyramids and mounds,
Right.
right? So you got to remember the culture that, first of all, you got to understand everything started. If you clear your mind, right, and just think about it, right, and say, okay, follow me. Everything started in America, right?
Hmm.
The mounds, right? The pyramids are more ancient than what you have in what is now known as Egypt,
Correct.
which was known as Kemet, right?
Correct. Hmm.
The knowledge of Osiris and Thoth, right, came to Egypt. Okay. So if you read and you research, you'll find that Osiris came from the west. So
Correct.
did Thoth, right? Along with them, they brought agriculture, you know,
Right.
teachings, knowledge, right? The Egyptians and all them, you gotta understand, they didn't know nothing about no agriculture. The corn and shit is indigenous to the Americas, right? So how do they get it? You'll see what you'll see is the Anunnaki with one hand he got the corn, and in the other hand he got a bag of seeds. You
Hmm.
dig?
Hmm.
So these was or Atlanteans as they refer to, whatever you want to call them. These was, the same copper people that you see on the pyramids on the inside of tombs. It's the same people that come from the Americas. Can you dig it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, um, I know that sounds far fetched for a lot of people because a lot of people may find that hard to believe because we just gone by everything that we were told.
Right.
But you got to remember who told it to us. The same, you know. So yeah, and so for the longest they didn't want to tell you who the Egyptians were, and they still don't, and they don't want to tell you who the original Americans were.
Right.
To this day. But the Olmec heads. You got man. I tell you like this. The history here in the Americas is deep and rich. Then I can go even deeper on stuff, but I ain't gonna hog your time with that.
That's
Mm.
what's up, man. Thanks for sharing with us, man.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
any advice for these I don't want to call them new jacks, but this new generation of parents?
Well, you know what?
What would you give them?
Yeah, I'll say like this. You know, we all gonna go through something. Ain't nobody say that we weren't gonna go through nothing. You know, and nobody said this life was gonna be easy, and it's gonna be challenges. You know, and there's a saying. Only the strong shall survive. You
It's a
know,
fact. That is a fact.
and so if there's anything you got in you, I mean, you fight, you hold true to your beliefs, and your values, your morals. If you're right, stand on right, you know. And if you're wrong, you know what? Own it, you know.
Right.
But, the children going to evolve, and you have to evolve too. They're free spirit. They're just like you. You're a spirit. you know we're meant to manage it, not control it. And so, but speaking truth and being truthful, goes a long ways. I mean, a lot of people scared of being disliked by their children.
Mm,
And all I can say is, I'd rather be respected than loved. If I had to choose between the two,
mhm.
there's love and respect, right? But I'd rather have the respect, you know
Right.
and yeah, because whatever you do in life, your children, after you give them life, ultimately, it's up to them to do what they have to do. you know
Right.
and when we see them going down the wrong path, people is trying to always stand in the way of what God needs to do. You done what you had to do. If you done your work, right?
Okay.
Sometimes it's just best to move out the way and let God, deal with it. But if you're living on right, you know, whether they come back or not, it's just like you don't let nobody put smut on your name. Don't give them an out. Don't give these kids an out. The
Mhm.
accountability is a must. Don't give them out. Don't give them a reason to say, "Oh, my daddy wasn't shit," or "My mama wasn't shit." No, that's when you have to check them.
Right. It's
That's the only thing I have a problem with. It's like a lot of people want to get on this family.
right.
Fuck my parents and fuck. No, you
It's
know,
right. It's
yeah,
interesting you said that, right? You said don't let anybody put any smut on your name, right? And it's the crazy thing about like me being 47, you being 61 and a half. The crazy thing about it is back then versus now, even my generation, it was the same, but that family name was important. You know what I'm saying? And like now it has no value whatsoever. You see what I'm saying? Wrights, Williams, Littles, Lytles, Gilmores, Joneses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hey man, don't you just like your hey man, what you mean? Ah, so he run up in your face, right? Because now you disrespect not you disrespecting the family name. Now it's like they don't give a damn about that name. Motherfucker just drag your shit all the way through the mud. And like parents just like so you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. It to me is crazy as hell. Our generation, there was a such thing as being disowned because of that. You know what I'm saying? Now it don't matter what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. They don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? And then you look at generation down generation. Every family had a bad seed, but trust and believe when that bad seed was the bad seed, they made sure that oh no, they if they didn't cut him, hey nah, he's a little different. You know what I'm saying? He's not like the rest of it. You know, she's not like the rest of it. Now shit, man, it don't matter. They don't give a damn about no family name. That family legacy, man, it's crazy as hell. I'm just like, whoa,
you know what? I
it,
don't know, man. I wouldn't. You got to understand. 9 times out of 10. Now I don't get that from like I never met a right, you know, and I never met any Perkins, that ever, I know some man, let me tell you, my
it,
there's families like right. for example, and I give you a man a culture. When families are together,
Mm-hmm.
right? I give you a prime example, man. The Franklins, man, the Franklins. I tell you what, they had it hard, right? Down
Yeah,
what was it down in Briar Hill,
yeah,
and but I tell you what, the Franklins didn't let nobody fuck with the Franklins.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Franklins stuck together. And there's a lot of families still in the that still stick together, but they grown up.
right,
Now what these young folks do, I don't know. I mean, this social media, I mean, but the thing is we were taught pride. We were instilled pride. We had it in our mind, our concept, and which is wrong. But the thing is that, hey, you gotta be twice as good as the white man. you
right,
know. When you
right,
go out that door, make sure you got clean drawers on. Make sure your clothes is pressed. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go out the door looking any kind of way. You didn't give them any kind of reason to call us, names or,
right.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? We, we were on a mission, you know. We were on a mission. And, and I tell you what, desegregation was probably the worst thing that ever happened to blacks. You dig? Even Martin Luther King said that in hindsight, because hey, first of all, you know,
Yeah, I've
we taking steps back. We took steps back. I mean, because the pride, self-respect, and dignity and all that we had, you
mhm,
know. So I mean, hey, look, man, you know, I I don't I don't care to comment on the way young folks dress and stuff like that. And
right,
I'm glad I'm not enduring all that shit that y'all enduring. I'm at the end of my days. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to deal with all that bullshit.
right.
You don't know what's what anymore. It's just everything suspect. I'm yeah. So you gotta forgive me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
we tell it
I'm
like
not
it
from a
is.
sensitive, era neither. I mean, shit, it wasn't nothing to get my hands dirty.
Right, right.
It's no shame in working. You know what I'm saying? It's no shame.
Nah,
You know, and if anything, it's honor. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could just sit around and say I ain't did shit today. You know what I'm saying? And feel comfortable on that shit.
right,
You
right.
know, I couldn't feel comfortable sitting back, collecting welfare and shit and ain't did shit with my life.
That
You
part.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Or ain't trying to. I couldn't feel comfortable,
right.
eating cheap food and shit, laying back and getting fat and shit. Fuck that. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
not living.
Nah, it's not.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm very opinionated on that. I apologize, but the only thing I could say is I just wish them the best.
Yeah,
Don't stress over things that they can't control. You
right,
know what I'm saying, and control what you can control. I
right.
mean, we all know what needs to be done.
Fact.
But the parents do too. They know that these hell, how many times people they'll look up some bullshit like on Beyonce or they could tell you anything that's going on out there in the social environment, right?
Right.
But they can't tell you anything about what's really going on in the world today or
Right.
even their history. And they got it all sitting in the palm of their fucking hand,
Hmm.
you know?
Distraction. It's the you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you said, when we were in our youth, we had dictionaries, thesauruses, and encyclopedias in our home, if you could afford them. Now, where we're in the age of knowledge, but people lack wisdom, it's right there in the palm of your hand, and you won't even take the time to research anything.
Yeah.
But they'll argue with you as soon as you get to speaking some factual shit.
Uh, you know, Stockholm syndrome
Yeah, yeah,
is a big issue.
yeah.
For real. I mean, nobody likes to feel like they've been bamboozled. I know I did. I
Nah,
used to call myself a Christian, you know,
man, yeah. When
and
you don't know
then
no better,
yeah,
you don't know no better.
but yeah, but when I started reading and shit,
Yeah.
and realizing that damn, these people are foul. These people are dirt. They're devious. They're demon. They're demonic.
Mm.
You know, I mean, you just don't know how deep. And I mean, the lie and what they are doing to even continue to lie. Like the Pope even apologized. You know, he
Yeah.
knows, like, hey, look, man, we can't keep this lie going. How can we? Because it's all about to blow up in their face, man.
Right.
Imagine if, the indigenous people woke up and realized that their relatives and ancestors were the children of Israel that they were talking about in the Bible, and that they came over here, killed the motherfuckers, then, you know, turn around, make them slaves, and then later on, get a group of people from Poland and Europe calling themselves Semitic.
Ashkenazi Jews. Yep.
So I mean, the extent that they go to just cover up the deep lies and the demonic shit that's been occurring over all these years. You know, I mean, America was the most censored country on the face of this planet after they took this country. Like I said, the only thing you see on TV every now and then is some cowboy and Indian movies. For real though.
Yeah.
TV is off at 12,
Right. Right.
indoctrination,
It would
you
start.
you don't know that it's you that, it's the Indians, there's the start of the indoctrination. And so that's what I'm saying, it controlled through media. And then the next thing you know, here comes, the fucking movie, the Ten Commandments and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another, fucking, indoctrination, complete
Yeah.
bullshit,
With
you
Elizabeth
know.
Taylor playing Cleopatra. Yeah.
The whole story is bullshit.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
The people that portrayed it, first and foremost,
Right.
you know, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing was a bunch of bullshit. And there was never no white slaves. There was never no slaves even in that during them times.
Right.
And the pyramids was long built before that shit. But you know what? That was part of the indoctrination though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pledge allegiance to the flag, you
United
know,
States of America.
indoctrination.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man, listen, that one right there. This whole American spiel, man. I can go on this for days. It makes no sense whatsoever, and I don't understand how
They
people.
had a ban on books, shit,
Yeah.
you weren't going to definitely get anything, coming from, outside the United States, books and shit.
No.
Like your podcast say, tell it like it is. You wouldn't know.
Fact.
Nobody would know, So what did you have? You still
Well,
had the old plantation, damn it, preachers, preaching, some bullshit out of the Bible,
mm,
scriptures that they were told to, teach and preach on,
right.
you know, everybody following the blueprint and shit, you know,
Mm,
not educating nobody in church. They pull about, if you notice, every time I ever go to church, there's about 2 to 3 scriptures a motherfucker will read. And then after that, he starts speaking on some bullshit, not educating nobody, nothing at
right.
all. And then it's just a feel good fucking moment. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
With the choir and all that hype music and shit. You know,
Right,
but
right.
not teaching nothing, not
Of
teaching a damn thing, and them plates steadily going around,
course. Of course.
and them fools don't even get the money. You know, they got to pay. They got to pay a Christian bank. You know, if they got a loan for a church, they have to pay a Christian bank, right? And if they ain't preaching no Christian, Christianity, they won't be getting a loan. You
Right.
know, that's why you're only gonna have Christian
They
churches.
get write-offs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so all that money they paying the white man for the church. You know, and then they trying to make theirs, the preachers and everybody else trying to make their money. You know, hustling. You know, the people for more money. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bunch of
It's
bullshit, but you don't realize a lot of that, because like I said, it's indoctrination and people get into it, and they give, just enough, to people to make them feel like, hey, they'll keep coming back, you know, keep hope alive. You know what I mean?
right. It's
Yeah.
easier. It's easier to embrace uh, a lie than it is the truth. You know.
Well, it's easy because, you know, now the information is available, niggas is lost. Children of Israel lost. They don't read. They don't research.
Yeah.
Only thing they care about is the day to day. They don't know who they are. Don't have no idea. People can't tell you anything about anything going on in this country. But if you ask them about some bullshit, like a party or some whatever,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
then yeah, that's interesting to them.
Right. My mother used to say, when I was little, she used to tell me, she say, the best way to hide something from a black person is to put it in a book.
It's a fact.
Yeah. Scary, but
That's what
true.
you look at Facebook. That's the way it is, man.
Oh yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you go on Facebook, people hit like on a fucking picture all day long. But if it's some shit they gotta read,
Scroll.
yeah, yeah,
Scroll fast as hell. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ain't nobody trying to read shit,
You know what? It's crazy
Yeah.
because that's how I was paying attention. I picked up on that, the analytics and all that. Started noticing that if you share some falsehood, some opinionated stuff, or just some bullshit, they'll love it up. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you actually put something out there where a person got to think, or something that's food for thought,
Yes, sir.
drive-bys, you know?
Yes, sir.
Drive-bys.
Yes, sir. Or
Um,
what's those ones where they show black folks fighting,
oh, yeah.
you know?
They love that. They
But
love
you know what? They won't show anything. Now that won't get. Now a black man doing something good, that won't get no views.
No, that's why this
You
podcast
know.
don't get many views. But nah, let me quit, man. But yeah,
Nah, man.
I definitely, man, I got another topic I want to get you on. It's for another show, but I definitely want to get you on there. Um, it's right up your alley, so I definitely will be in touch with you on that one. Uh, I've been trying to get you for a minute, man. I tell you, when you was on,
Well,
to get
yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad to do it anytime. You
awesome,
know.
awesome.
Yeah. Uh, there's this song, um, and maybe you could play it on your podcast for me, right?
I got you.
And I believe it's by a dude named Steady B.
Steady B. Okay,
Yeah, that's my days, right?
okay,
And he has a song. I think it's called "Use Me," right?
okay.
And I dedicate that to you, my cousin, my brother.
All right, so I definitely got
Yeah,
you. Use me,
yeah,
you said.
yeah, man. You'll like it. Pump
All
that
right,
back.
I'm definitely gonna look it up, and then I tell you what,
Mm.
when I bring you back onto the show, I'll have that as the as the show opener. I
Hey, hey,
see you over there.
you see that
Yeah,
there?
I see you over there.
Yes, sir.
That kind of look like grandma right there. It
Yeah,
do.
man.
I got her picture
Mhm.
on my living room table.
Yeah.
Wait, go back closer, man, because that dude look like grandma.
No, dog.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Go to the left just a little. There you go. Man down. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's how serious I am about my ancestry, bro.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You know.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely,
You
man. We
know.
definitely. I'm gonna do. Definitely have an episode coming up too, where we're gonna talk about lineage and the ancestry.com thing situation. So
Hey man, do this for me, right?
what you got?
So whenever you're doing your research, right?
Mm-hmm.
Type in your searches, make sure that you put in before it, you type ancient. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you get the results you're looking for. Like,
Okay.
for example, type in ancient Mississippians.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. You know, dude.
Changes the whole algorithm, huh?
Oh man, you'd be surprised all the information it'll provide you, you know.
All right. All right.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a plethora of information out there,
Beautiful.
and if you want to know, just seek it, man. I mean, that's even in the Bible,
Yeah,
you
that's what
know.
they say. That's what they say.
Yeah,
That's what they
you
say.
know.
I
Those who seek knowledge shall find it.
oh man, I'm always seeking. That's for doggone sure. I'm always I because of the way I go about doing it, I do a lot of VPNs. So I have to put safeguards. My thing is this is anything that when you're told not to do something or when you're told that something's bad, here use this version, but there's a whole nother version, but you're trying to discredit. So therefore, I say, okay, well, let me go see why you. Oh, okay, I see, I get it, because you can't control the narrative. I got you. So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, when they're talking about the versions, especially of the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that Bible has got so many damn versions. They
Oh,
got a
absolutely.
museum up in DC, and it's dedicated to all the different damn versions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And why would the word of God need to be revised so many damn times? You know what I mean?
That part.
Yeah. So yeah, it's you gotta take it for what it's worth. I mean, uh when you take stolen documents and you try to make them yours, you got to
Mm-hmm.
keep going back to revise it, you see.
Right. Right.
Because they didn't have long to get it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their version didn't come around until the 1500s, you
Mm.
know so um yeah. So they,
Definitely.
there's a long history, but they had a lot of time to, go ahead and rewrite things,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you heard of the Council of Nicaea, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, they did do what they had to do, you know.
Of course. Of
Uh,
course. I mean, you know how that goes. You know how that
mm,
goes. Keep you in the dark, changing the narrative. Misinformation as it's best said. You know.
well, the main problem is that, when it comes to anything dealing with the Bible and history, it's that, like you said, it's in a book, and black people ain't gonna do that. So,
Right. That part. That part. Actually, that part.
but yeah, man. And before I get off this line, man, it's important to me. But I gotta say, if you got any viewers, let them know, man. The track these candidates is coming up. Don't vote for them because they seem nice and all that other stuff, right? You know, this APAC is a Israeli lobbyist, political action committee that is literally taking over our government, and we're dropping bombs and bullets on innocent people, you know, and we're paying for it. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
And, it's not just our federal dollars, you'd be surprised that the reason why taxes in Ohio, your state taxes is high, is because the state of Ohio also pays, taxes to Israel. So not
Okay.
just your state, your federal, right? So all these Israeli sympathizers and giving our money away and our taxes is high and shit, stop voting for them. If they taking any money from APAC, do a little research on your phone. Just Google and see if the candidate is taking money from APAC. If they are, hey, don't be voting for these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we said cut them off, huh?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
dig
cut them off, man. They pimping the hell out of us.
I dig it.
We getting straight pimp. This is real world stuff.
Yeah, hey, look, everybody doing a little pimping nowadays, man. Everybody doing a little pimping nowadays. Uh-oh, what happened?
Froze up.
Huh?
He
So
froze up.
Oh,
yeah,
there it is. Okay. Yeah, I saw a big red light up there. I was like, wait, what's going on? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, everybody doing a little pimping nowadays. It's strange as it may seem,
yeah, man.
but yeah, man. But yeah, thanks for the insight, man, and thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. Looking forward to having you on again, man.
all right, now I'm gonna drop off then, brother.
All right, family. Be safe.
Peace.
Love you, man. Bye. There we go. I had to figure out how to do it. I ain't did that yet. That was kind of dope, man. That was kind of dope. Yeah, it's a lot of insight there, man.
Yeah,
Uh
it was.
it was crazy because like again, like I said, the generational gap, man. 1965. You know what I'm saying? Up to now. And like like he said, man, it's not family oriented anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not family oriented anymore.
No, it's definitely not. Like a lot of points he was making, social media has made kind of everybody lazy.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
we're we're quicker to focus on Facebook and actually just sitting there and talking.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. You know, um, it's crazy because like y'all sitting at the dinner table or whatever have you. She got her phone in her hand. You got your phone in your hand. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Y'all call yourself like, who you dating? Like, what's going on here? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
It's
you
really
know?
conversation has gotten lost nowadays.
Well, yeah, and it's crazy because here's the thing. When you say that, right? But then when you ask a person, what's the biggest issue? Uh, what's the biggest problem with your relationship? They always the first thing that comes out of mouth is lack of communication.
Yeah, communicate.
Right
Well,
now, right. So how do you say this is the issue, but then you not working on it, or you that's what throws me about people. You know what the problem is, but then you don't want to work on it, but you want to complain about
that's about a lot of things in life. People
it. Right?
seriously, people will
Yeah.
complain about something, but won't
It's a lot of
find a
complainers.
solution. Won't try to
Yeah,
fix it.
it's a lot of complainers out here, man. Real,
Yeah.
for real, for real. So, question on the floor, man. Question on the floor. Check it out for the viewers as well. Throw this out here, man. As a parent, going back to the topic, as a parent, if your child committed a crime, would you turn them in?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I know I'm laughing about it, but yeah,
Right, right. No, 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 no. And that's the because here's
I
the thing, right? That goes back to that. Like a lot of people will say no. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want to mess up my child's record or that's my baby or That's
Yeah,
my job. You know what I'm
I
saying? But the
get
thing about
that,
it
but
goes back to
my
the
fault.
accountability.
Yeah, I mean, I get that thought process, but I mean, the way I came up was you knew better,
Exactly. Holding them. Yes. Yes.
so that accountability doesn't exist anymore. So for me to sit back and let you commit a crime, no, I'm like, hey, have at them. I'm let the system have you.
Yeah. Listen, you look what they say. You want to play adult games, you
Yeah.
adult pride. Really.
Right. So I get it. And okay, so like with my kids, what I always told them, if it was murder in self defense,
Right. We
then
gonna fight that.
then I got your back.
Yeah, we're gonna fight that.
But if you out here like a lot of these young dudes,
Yeah, you
carjack,
want some YN bullshit? Yes.
hey man, y'all have at them. When the police come and knock on the door and say, "Hey, your son stole the car," hey, did y'all lock him up? You know, that's all I want to know. Did y'all lock him up? Because he knows better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit back and defend it. Because I've seen videos where it was one that really got me. This older guy, uh, these three guys are trying to rob him, three little young dudes trying to rob him, right?
Okay.
This old man just let loose on them, just shot him. And one of the mothers of the boys was in court, boo-hooing, talking about all he wanted to do was just rob you. And I'm going, are you serious right now? You really open your mouth up to say that, you know? It's like
Right.
that's completely retarded. And the judge was looking at her like, well, you out of your mind? What you know he wanted to do was just rob you. How can you sit up as a parent and defend it? You know, so I was like,
Right.
when
I'm supposed to just
yeah, so when the older guy shot him, you know, I was like, good. That was the first thing I said. I said, good. I'm glad he got him.
right. You got basically you got what you wanted.
Yeah, what you
know what I'm
asked
saying?
for, you know
Right.
that, but for her to say, oh, all he wanted to do, I'm like, is she insane? Absolutely out of her mind to make that kind of statement. Because if I was sitting in that courtroom, I
Man,
would have yelled out, your son got what he deserved. You know,
100%. 100. Listen, 100%. 100%.
no,
Give me 1 second. I'm still here. I'm damn it. I'm trying to figure out. So there's comments that are flying over there on TikTok, but they're not coming over here.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to redirect them to YouTube if they want to make comments.
Okay.
Because the comments on YouTube are coming through, but the ones from TikTok are not coming through, and that's craziness. So if you're listening, I know you guys are watching over there because I'm watching the broadcast over on TikTok. So I catch the comments.
Okay.
If you guys are commenting, for those of you who are commenting on TikTok, please direct your comments. Go over to YouTube and make your comment. I sent the link in the chat section.
Mm.
YouTube link. All right, there you go. Yeah, so for those of you who are on TikTok, the link for the YouTube broadcast is in the comment section. If you would go over there and make your comments, please, because they're not coming back to me, and so I'm trying not to miss them. Let me go back real quick. So Beth says she's over on TikTok. Beth says when I mentioned the lack of communication being a big problem, Beth says it can also be lack of understanding instead of lack of communication.
Well, you gotta communicate to get understanding.
That part.
You know, Nobody's a mind reader. At least I'm not. So
Shit.
I can understand you if you don't tell me what it is that's
Right.
on your mind.
Right. And even if you are telling me, there's still cases where you can tell a person something and you still just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying?
But explain it to the best of your ability. I'll
Right.
say that.
But in the same, well, here's the thing: you can explain it the best way that you can. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna grab. Because here's the thing, right? And again, we don't practice communicating, as well as I can speak. Sometimes when it comes to expressing myself or communicating my emotions, doesn't always come out the best way.
Okay.
So I'm going to express myself the best way. I'm going to communicate and express myself the best way I can. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to grasp what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We all communicate different. That's one thing too. You know what I'm saying? Not just men and women, but people different. I tend to be witty and sarcastic. Another person finds that offensive. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Then don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I hear it 1,000 times over. Why are you so mean? I'm not mean. I'm me. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And in this world that we're in now, everything is hypersensitive and people always getting butt sore about some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna pass. That's why I tell people quick. You know what I'm saying? If you can't accept me for who I am, stay the fuck from around me, because that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? You don't like it, then what the fuck do you expect? You know what I'm saying? What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I think that in that case, people just want you to say what makes them feel good.
Yeah, in most cases, yeah.
You
In
know,
most cases, pillow their ears. You know, that type of dumb shit. Yeah.
But if you when you're honest with your opinion, that's all it is. As I've said it many times. Okay, yeah, that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I like it or not, that's still your opinion. So I got to give you that much respect for it.
Right. I never understood that either, where a person will ask you, what do you think? And then when you tell them, they get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they get mad about it. It's like, you asked me, what do I think?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get to the point where I go silent. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't necessarily get silent. I try to, it depends on the person. I kind of curve my answer a bit. You know what I'm saying? Because my first thought is we're pretty much the same. I am
we are
sarcastic. And I will joke about your situation, no matter how serious it is. I will attack if I need to attack. Exactly. You'd be like, "Whoa, I wasn't looking for that one."
Shit, what the fuck?
So it depends on who it is. I will, like I said, I will curve my answer.
Right. If you want a person that's, but see, my thing is this: is if you want somebody that's, well, you call it curving. If you want a person that's gonna coddle you or lie to you, don't ask me. You know.
But that's what I say. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I will put it in a jokingly manner.
Shit.
So it doesn't hurt as much. You know
it's gonna hurt.
But it's gonna hurt. I know it is because I know the way my mind functions. It's like, don't say that. I'm telling myself, don't say that. Don't say that. And then that other voice kicks in and goes, go ahead and say it.
Man, listen, you ever been in a situation? Because this happened to me a couple times when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
One time, in fact, I think it happened twice. Okay. And the last time I got bopped in the mouth, I started leaving the room, right? So The first time it was asked to me, and I, you know what I'm saying? Second time I heard some shit, right? And the response was like, and I, you know, you don't throw your 2 cents in those shit, but
Mm-hmm.
what was it? Oh yeah, da 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 da.
Right. Right.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe I did the shit. It just
Came
happened.
out.
Yeah.
Right. It came out. And and for me, that usually happens like in a group set. You know, if a lot of people talking,
Uh-huh.
and I hear that one thing that just make me go, "That's the dumbest thing I
That's
ever heard."
it. It's always the
And
stupid.
then, and then I'm going,
It's
and
always-
everybody look at me like, "Oh wow," he said,
Right.
"Yes, it was stupid what you just said."
yeah, you shouldn't have said that. That wasn't.
Yeah, it's like, and the people
That
will
was
look at me
the
like, people look at me like, "Oh wow, I don't believe he said that." Yeah, that was dumb. What
Yes.
did you get that thought from? But
Yes.
I mean, it happens.
Hey, my dad used to do this shit, man. He hear some dumb shit, he go.
Yeah, I'm starting to do
what
that.
the, like what?
I just shake my head and
Man, I used
leave
to-
the area because I'm like, man, that was
Man, I used to get that a lot when I was younger.
That was so dumb it wasn't even funny.
Yeah, look, when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? I there was a couple times where I caught myself trying to be funny, or I didn't think it all the way through, and I just kind of, you know, spewed some shit out my
Blurt
mouth.
it out. Yeah.
And he sat there and he gave me this look like he was listening.
Mhm.
And then when I was done, he kind of looked at me and was like,
Yeah, like
you got the
just-
stick in his head? I'm like, oh man, that look of disappointment, like shit. And
Yeah,
it's crazy because he didn't say it, but his face said, damn, nigga, you was about the dumbest motherfucker.
Right, that was
Like,
the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Right.
You know?
I can't believe this shit. Like, I taught you better than that, you know? I'm like, golly. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it cuts even harder. It cut even more when he didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? He just
Yeah, I do that too. There's been moments when
you just get that
You know,
look.
you just stare at a person. I
Yeah.
got that too bad. I
Guilty.
just look at them like, oh, you got some mental issues, you know.
Yeah.
What-
You
what
hit
is
him with that
going
look
on?
like,
really? You really thought that was a decent thought?
Right.
Why?
right. What made you what
made you think that?
Yeah, right.
Now we in a different conversation because I'm really like, what made you think that made sense?
Right, that part. Right. I need to understand your thought process.
Yeah, I now got to understand you now. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that part.
what
That part.
made you think that was sensible?
Hell yeah. But yeah, man, I want to know. Cause I know y'all around here somewhere, man. I know y'all watching and tuned in and all that good stuff. And I'd like to hear from y'all on this question. Really, I would. All right, so he's handling some business. I would really like to hear from y'all on, excuse me, man. I got hiccups real bad, my bad. I would really like to hear from the audience on this question, man. Like what would you do as a parent? You know, and if your child committed a crime, would you turn them in? I would love to hear about that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some, like I said, man, you got some that, oh man, no, I ain't turning my kids in. And then you got some that like, yeah, man, that little joker deserved that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it. I think all in all, because like when it comes down to it, man, like your kids need to, well, first off, as a parent, you know whether or not you taught your kids or if you lacked in that department. All right.
Mhm.
Once they know right from wrong, all that, oh, I feel bad. I feel like a bad parent. Shit, I don't understand that shit, because at the end of the day, once I did my job, that's all I'm obligated to do. Raise you, do. I'm obligated to do my part, right?
Right.
After that, You know right from wrong. You got to learn. You got to make your way in the world. Man, listen. I gave you the necessary tools. In fact, I was just explaining this to one of my kids' mothers yesterday. Oh, I don't want him to go out because I said, let me explain something to you. You sheltering and keeping this child in the house like that. You got to question yourself. You basically saying you're not preparing this child for the real world. Well, what do you mean? You taught him right from wrong, right? Well, yeah. Okay. So just like your mother or father taught you right from wrong, right? Well, yeah. Okay, so when we went to school, Monday through Thursday, they taught you. Friday, you had a test, right? Did you pass the test? So here it is, you study teaching these lessons, but you don't think that they can pass the test? Well, then somewhere basically inadvertently, you saying that you ain't doing your job as a parent.
So why would she not want the kid to go out? You know,
Because everybody else out in the world. So basically, you saying your kid, you not taught your child how to use better judgment or good judgment.
Okay, because I'm like, where's your child going? Yeah, of course you can't be with your kid 24/7, but
all right. So let me get to you like this. Let me give you the scenario.
Okay.
Hey, mom, can I go to a party?
Okay.
No. Not who's gonna be there or where's this party at. It's just no.
Just no. Okay.
So when it's brought to me, well, why? Oh yeah, I told them no, they can't go to the party. Well, are they grounded? Is my response. No. Well, why they can't go to? Well, I don't feel comfortable with the people in the world. Not, oh, I don't know the parents, or not, I don't know who's over there, or not, these aren't good. Just, I don't feel, you know nothing about these people. You see what I'm saying?
I get that part, but then that kid is going to be in the house forever.
That's what. So here come find out. Like, because I said it. Well, this is why I said you doing that is going to lead to the child sneaking out.
Yeah, I was about to say that they're going to end up sneaking out.
Or sneaking motherfuckers in the house, right? Which had happened.
Doing much worse.
Right.
Than what you see.
Right. Which had happened. End up sneaking somebody in the house, right? So here come find out during the midst of this conversation, here come find out the child was sneaking out. They finally had owned up to it, but this was after they were allowed to actually go out and start experiencing things. You know what I'm saying? So it confirmed what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you have the control of said child, you know what I'm saying? You make that call. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't ask my input. You just said no. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, you feel like you can handle it, handle it.
Yeah, because I get the being protective, but you becoming overprotective, and all the kid is going to end up doing is something worse than what you think they're doing.
You can't protect your kid from everything. What you can do is you can prepare your child for situations. That's the best thing to do.
You can let them know what's the best move to make.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? People who take their guns, all right, so your child is 9-10 years old, and you putting your guns in lock boxes and all this type of shit. Instead of you hiding the guns from you, probably should be teaching them gun safety. Because if a motherfucker like me break into your house and I got you overpowered, that 9-10-year-old child being able to get the gun might save your life.
Yeah, it's possible.
You see what I'm saying? So all this protecting my child, you need to prepare your child. That protect. What are you protecting them from? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's almost like it's a crazy analogy, but It's almost like a Christian who says, I'm saved. Saved from what? You still here going through the same shit that everybody else is going through. You know what I'm saying? Prepare your child. Don't protect them.
Yeah,
In preparing them, you are protecting them.
that's where the confusion comes in. You know, a lot of parents think they are protecting their kids, but you know, prep them for what's out there. Just
Yes.
and then if she's saying no, she should give that a whole explanation as to why she's saying no. Don't
Yeah.
you know? Don't just say no and leave it at that. Just say,
Yeah.
hey,
Right. 'Cause
this,
no,
this is the reason I'm saying no.
right. No with no explanation is bound to lead. Now, don't get me wrong, there might be a situation where you ain't got time for that shit. So when I tell your ass move, damn it, move. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but still, you know, it was. I'm saying based on the people I was around, the group
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they told you why.
Oh yeah.
You know, it wasn't just well, you know, it was some moments. It was a flat out no, but
Right.
uh,
and you better take
and
that.
it was like, okay, I got to take this no and go in the room and sit
Right.
down somewhere, right? But for the most part, it was like, this is the reason I'm telling you no.
Right. I mean, if there's a lesson to be taught, yeah, granted. A lot of times too, and I can't say this is for everybody, right? But if I tell you no,
Mhm.
and you have to question everything that I do, I mean everything that I say. If every time you say, let's say it's your daughter, or let's say it's your significant other, right? And you say, honey, let me get $300, and you say no. Well, why not? If every time you say something, every time when you say yes, there's no rebuttal. When you say no, if every time I say no, you got a question, what does that tell you about that person?
Well, I mean, if somebody like that asks me for something, my response is always, "What's going on?"
Okay.
You know, I hope that you would tell me exactly what's going on. But if you say, "Oh, I need $300," and I say, "For what?" and you go, "I just need $300," I'm like, "No, you ain't getting it. I want to hear the story behind this." You know?
Okay. Okay. I mean, this person could be good for it or whatever have you.
They could be good for it. I'm not questioning that, but I just want to know what is the purpose of this. You know,
Okay.
you can't just run up to me and say, "I need 300 for what?"
Right.
I'm always going to ask you for what. What do you
Okay.
need it for? What's going on? Is this something I need to handle? I'm not just going to give you the money and say, "All right, go ahead, do what you need to do."
Right.
You
So
know,
for me, if a person, when you ask me, and if anytime I say no, it's followed with a why or a question, or you're questioning, that tells me that you don't trust me or you don't trust my judgment.
I wouldn't say it's that. I mean, it's just maybe it's something going on that they don't really want to tell you.
I mean, it's a
Maybe.
possibility. It's a possibility, but I
You
mean,
know, you gotta take that into account too.
if every time you say no, or every time you make a move, is a question behind it, somewhere along the lines that I'm picking up on trust issues.
On the yeah, it could be a lack of trust.
You know what I'm saying? Which is a big issue for me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a big issue for me.
But I would think that the person asking you is already built up trust with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would
You know,
definitely,
so
it would definitely happen.
you shouldn't have to doubt having trust in them. You know, have that little like,
Right.
do I trust this person? It's
Right.
just that me, I want to know what's the background story. Why why are you coming to me?
I
with
think
this?
me personally, I think a lot of times, for some people, it's actually a reflex.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? It just, as soon as they hear no, why?
mhm.
Anytime they don't get what they want, why? I think it's just a reflex. You're so accustomed to getting what you want or having things your way, to the point where now you feel like you're being blocked from something, or you can't have what you want. Now it's an issue.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know, like, different strokes for different folks, but like that's why I said immediately, if every time it's a like what hold on, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like something, you know what I'm saying? And I pay attention to that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm an adult. You see what I'm saying? So there are certain things that I don't feel obligated to even explain anyway.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Shoes on the other foot. I'm not gonna ask you, well, hey, can I don't know, I'm just throwing weird shit out there at this point. Can I borrow your card? No. Well, why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's what I said. Everybody's different because I'm the type, if I ask you for something, I really need it.
I mean, yeah, me and you both.
I desperately need it. So,
me and you both.
So I would say a good 100% of the time, anybody that really know me would tell you, if I'm asking you, you know, this is something I need instantly.
You're saying, hurry up.
Yeah, I need this right now. It's a problem going on. It's not just, oh, I figure I ask you just for the sake of talking.
I feel you. Yeah, man.
So I don't know how that situation applies to everybody, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know, man. I'm not perfect. I got my own issues and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got my own different mindset too. You know what I'm saying? The way I view things and see things as well is way different from
That's understood.
Your average. Yeah, you know what? And it's crazy because like I didn't even have a topic for today. For a truth be told, it was like, I got back home and was like, man, podcast is today. I need a topic. I had asked yesterday. I asked last night. I was like, man, give me a topic. Give me a podcast topic. And we brainstormed and we never really came up with nothing. And me and Beth. And came up with nothing. Like we had some good ideas, but it was just like, And then a lot of the ideas that was being bounced around were essentially discussing previous episodes, and I just was like, okay, well, I kind of touched on that in different episodes. I didn't want to turn it into a main thing. Is that me or you?
I think it's you because I'm hearing it.
All right, could be. So what I did was I said, all right, I was at work today and got home, was like, need a topic. And something happened. I don't remember what it was. Something happened. I saw something. And, that's what it was. I came home. I was scrolling the newspaper, Facebook. And kept seeing these kids cutting up in the videos.
Mm-hmm.
One of the mothers was sitting there or whatever have you, and she told the kid no, and he hauled off and like smacked her in the face.
Oh wow!
And when he smacked her in the face, her nose was bleeding.
Wow.
Another one was the kids. It was like a series of videos.
Mm-hmm.
It was showing it was basically showing it was depicting the importance of a father.
Okay.
So the mom was saying, don't do that. And the kid was looking at her like, F you, and kept on doing what they were doing, right?
Mhm.
So the father in a couple of the videos, hey, from the other room, immediately
Mhm.
stopped.
Right.
One of the fathers actually didn't even say anything. He just walked in the room.
Mhm.
So the mother was sitting there trying to get the child to take a nap. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Lay down, lay down. Kid just run around the room and all this type of stuff. I don't have to, and all this type of stuff, right? Father came in and was just standing in the doorway like this on the rail, right? I mean on the door frame.
Mhm.
Kid happened to look over, was like, boop. He like didn't even make it to the bed, like just
Right.
hit
Just lay down.
on the floor, blue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then I came across, and this is how I end up with the topic, the title. I came across this meme that said, which was the question: if your child committed a crime, would you call the police? I mean, if your child committed a crime, would you call the police on them? And then it said something about accountability, and I was like, I started formulating. I was like, all right, boom. So that's how I came about. Of course, it's not a topic that really grabs a lot of attention, um, but it was something that I felt like would get enough attention. If that
Okay.
makes some sense. That was why I actually opted. That's why I actually opted to broadcast this one to TikTok, because TikTok is uh, more interactive. They're more engaging over there
Mhm.
versus Facebook or YouTube.
But I mean, it's like we said before. Excuse me. Most people looking for entertainment,
Right.
and then as far as the entertainment goes, they're looking for unnecessary drama. You know,
Mm-hmm.
look at what gets people's attention nowadays is so-called reality shows.
Right. Right.
Watching, what are they doing on there? Fighting each other. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if that's your reality, that is a sad reality. Who wants to wake up every day and got to fight with somebody? I know I don't. You know, so
Right.
but that's what gets people's attention. Yeah,
It's
and
like
then we are two. I'm gonna say this: heterosexual men.
mm-hmm. Right.
That's a turnoff for some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, if I
Yeah.
was up here and had those mannerisms like some of them do, and wearing wigs and all this other silliness.
Right. Or
Oh
even if
man, we
or
got
even
3 million followers by now.
right.
So
Right. Exactly. Or
it's
even if we
not
had a
gonna
female up there,
happen.
you know,
Yeah.
with just her cleavage
I
showing.
mean, I wouldn't mind it. And we said this before. Wouldn't mind if a female actually tuned in
Oh, absolutely.
and got on camera.
Big facts.
I want to hear a woman's opinion most of
Yeah.
the time on the things we're talking on. So
Yeah.
that is not the issue. I'm just going from what I see, from even other podcasts and just stuff on the internet. I'm like, man, this is what gets people's attention.
Yeah. You have
And
to have a balance. Because in the world that we live in now, they call it safe space, which I don't understand that shit, but you have to have a safe space for a woman. Um, Otherwise, she will not participate. Her participation, when she does participate, it'll be defensive.
I won't even look at it that way. I'm just saying, just participate. Because as I tell people, you may be the one that'll change my opinion on something.
Right. But the thing about it is that's what I'm saying. They won't. If they don't have a safe space, they won't participate.
So what's safe in a conversation?
You got to ask a new breed. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, what's considered safe? Because
I couldn't tell
I
you.
I grew up in a culture where nothing was off limits.
I mean, you spoke as you spoke.
You spoke it. You just said it. I don't care if you wanted to cuss me out from the ceiling to the floor. If
Right,
that's what you wanted to do, then okay, let's go.
right.
But so what's a safe space?
You have to ask somebody that's again one of these new breeds.
I mean, I recently got into it with somebody,
Mhm.
and they said, "Oh, don't you talk to me like that." And I really blew up then. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the room was like, "Whoa," looking at me like, "Oh, you really said it wrong."
Right.
Yeah.
I can't believe you saying that.
They,
Right.
they even looked at him like, "Wait a minute." And I think what added to the fire was the fact that this was a white man that said it.
Oh, really?
So I was like, "Man, come on now." Like, I don't know who you've been around and who you've been talking to, but you definitely just came up against that outright animal. I'm gonna tell you right now. And when I got done talking, the whole room was quiet. It was like, okay, you won't ever say that to him again.
Right.
But I don't. I just think that people are just overly sensitive, man.
They are, and it doesn't make any sense as to why they are. That's I think what gets me. And people are the world that we live in now is everybody wants to be comfortable, and with being comfortable makes you stagnant. Um,
Mm,
in the world that we live in, people are very lazy, so this is why it all fits together. You know what I'm saying? A man who's comfortable is always going to be a lazy individual. He's not going to accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying? You
mm,
think about it. You sitting at the house, right? You got you're supposed to be doing chores around the house, but you got on your slides.
mm.
You got on your comfy sweats. You sitting on the couch. You're not gonna get up no time soon. You know what I'm saying? You comfortable, and when you become comfortable, when a person is comfortable, they 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 become stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh Crazy analogy, but nonetheless, if you think about potty training,
Mm-hmm.
a child that's in diapers, he's totting around. He can walk and talk and all this type of stuff, right? He pissing and shitting on himself, and then tell you he gonna start running around because he don't want it, or he gonna take it off. He don't want to sit in it because it feels uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To the
Yeah,
point where you know what, enough of this is enough. He gonna go sit on the toilet.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same situation when people become uncomfortable, man. They make things happen. In the world that we live in now, everybody's looking to be comfortable. Everybody's stagnant mentally and physically. Truth be told, because I mean, in the world we live in now, think about it. When we were kids, when we was growing up, teenagers, you didn't see half as many overweight people.
Uh,
Remember, there was a whole time period where people was watching TV. It was aerobics.
yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What was it? What was his name? I can't think his name. Sweating to the oldies, Richard Simmons, and all this type of shit.
Yeah,
Body by Jake, Tybo, all man.
yeah. All those little
You know what I'm saying?
infomercials and
Now,
all that. Yeah.
right now, people ain't trying to be active, but they'll run their ass over there to that plant that get that vanity surgery done, cut off this, suck this out, this, that. You don't want to put in the work, but you want to be comfortable, don't you?
Well, I mean, technology plays a part in that because it's made it
It
easier.
does. It does.
You know, it's made it real simple to just, like you said, just go get surgery
Shit.
instead of actually going to a gym.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then this might sound a little weird, but we've kind of accepted the fact that being fat is okay.
Nah, it don't sound weird. That's true.
You know, because I see plenty of people, and I know sometimes you can't help the way your body is shaped, but
Right.
I've seen plenty of people that I'm going, man, you can't be healthy,
Yeah. You
but
know,
they're comfortable
really
with it.
not.
You know, they're real comfortable with it. And I know some, and it's gotten to the point that uh, it's called body shaming. Because we was little kids, you call somebody fat in a heartbeat.
Oh man.
You know, it was like, man, oh, fat, so and so. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was just like, it is what it is. But now you say that, oh my God, you're body shaming that person. No, they fat.
Right. The world that we live in now is it says accept the delusion.
It's like, you know, you 5'3" and 300 pounds. Man, that shouldn't be, that doesn't, you know,
No.
that
No.
shouldn't be happening. But it's the way
And-
things are. It's like, oh, well, you can't say that about it. Why not? Why
And
not? Why
and then
not?
in this nobody left behind or this PC community that we live in,
Mm-hmm.
you feel that you should be entitled to get the same guy that this size 0 gets.
Yeah, I mean, that to me, that kind of comes down to personality.
It does, but here's the thing: don't get mad at him when he shoots you down. When he call you fat, get away from me. You
Yeah,
fat.
but
I jump in.
you know, it's funny that you said that because I had this thought.
Oh boy.
Don't laugh just yet.
Oh boy.
I had this thought, and I was going to put it out as a question. I was going to ask, has any guy ever really admitted to dating an ugly woman?
No.
Because you know what the excuse is?
Hmm.
She didn't look like that when I was with her.
Oh well, so
And I'm going, man, she was toe up with day one. You met her.
hey,
but you don't want to admit to yourself.
they say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Now, one
I
thing, I
get that. You think it looks good. I may not think it looks good.
right?
But don't show her off and think that the entire world is going to think that she looks good.
You got some that will. Now,
You got something weird because I've had guys that'll be like, oh, this is a picture of my wife, and all I can say is, I'm like, hey, well, love is blind.
As long as you love her.
Like, love is blind because what I'm seeing,
I will say this.
you married a monster. Hey,
Oh man, I will say this much though, right? You won't find too many guys that will admit that they
that
dated.
will admit that that she wasn't the best looking one, and that's cool.
Right.
That's what you wanted, but
You. There's a lot of guys out here that will not acknowledge or admit that they've dated an ugly chick. However, and let me say it this way: you got a better chance because in reality, this is how it actually happens. You got a better chance of a guy acknowledging or admitting that he smashed an ugly chick than dated one.
But to me, that's on the same level.
No,
No, that's on the same level.
because see, here's the thing: I can go smash something and not give a damn about you.
That's true, but I wouldn't go bragging on that.
That's true. See, that
I, no, I'm saying I would do that with just about anybody. She be good looking. It ain't necessarily unnecessary, that she's not good looking. I mean, that's just a moment,
I mean, and listen, It can be. It could be a drunk moment. It can be beer goggles, and you know.
I don't even say drunk moment because I don't drink. So it was
Right.
a
That's
sober,
what I'm saying.
it was a sober decision that I made.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right, so I'm not going to throw
We're
that
not-
excuse out there like, oh, man, I was toe up. No, I know what was going on.
Yeah.
I know the person that I was with, so I got to take that for what it is.
There you go. So yeah, man. Like as far as the what you acknowledge that you dated an ugly chick, not many of us will. But I tell you what, we oh yeah, I smashed an ugly chick. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't.
Yeah, they didn't play it like that. Yeah, I got at it, but you know,
Yeah. Because when you
no,
say date,
I get it. I understand. Just own up to it.
because you got to figure like this, you also got to realize too, especially for our generation, right? If we was dating, that means we had to bring her home or around our people.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
Mama didn't. You know, Mama was well. The thing about it was they weren't tactful with their comments. They
No.
what is
Yeah,
you doing
they-
with her?
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And they don't say it.
they play it like, oh, you really like her? That was good. You know, that was kind of like the tip off of saying she ain't the cutest thing that walked in there, but
nah.
you know,
Look,
hey, if that's what you like, then so
right,
be it.
right, man. Listen, and then after she leaves, they gonna tell you, please don't bring her ass back over. If that's what you choose to be with, don't
Yeah,
bring her ass back. Man, you meet her around the corner or some shit. Don't have that girl knocking on my door. Yeah. Man, look, they was treacherous. You feel me?
That's what I'm like. It happened, but I've to this day never heard a guy say, "Yeah, she was ugly." I admit to it, but you know, it's always nah, she didn't look like that when she was with me. Man, yes, she did, bro.
Right. That part.
Stop lying. Yes, she was.
That part. Shoot, that part. Got a face that only a mother can love type shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Straight up, very real up in here.
What they say, turn off the lights.
Every time you was with her, it was at nighttime because
Yeah. Why you only hit me up at night? Man,
it's a reason. It's a reason for it.
Yeah. So, you know, my mama be home. You know, I gotta.
Right. I work all day.
Yeah,
It's like, nah, it's a reason.
So you gonna call me or you gonna call me later? I hit you up or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll call you. No. You know, I ain't paid my phone bill. I got you though. You know.
You got to treat her like a vampire. When the sun come up, I'm like, hey,
Oh damn.
hey,
Yeah.
I get with you when it's late, when it's dark. But
And these damn comments is coming through slow as the Dickens.
yeah, so you can see them. I can't because
You can't see the comments?
no, because I don't think anybody's on Facebook.
Oh yeah, they're not on Facebook. These are from they're from I gotta figure this out. Something's not right. These are demo this demo chat. The other ones were from YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, it just said check out 314 Originals, Tell It Like It Is podcast collection.
Mhm.
I don't
You
know.
need, on the side note, you need to check it out too because I added a few things.
Did you? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this morning I did.
Nice. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I just where the hell is this damn thing at? There it is. I just I gotta come up with some concepts, man. It's crazy because when I didn't have when we weren't running, I had all type of show ideas, and now that we back in effect, I'm like drew a blank, but I never wrote nothing down. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
I was like, you should have wrote them down.
Yeah, I don't. That's that. You know what? And I need to because I'm getting older. But it's
You
crazy.
see what I'm talking about?
You know, we came up in that time, but you don't never write nothing down. You don't never leave no evidence. You know, so like I always always prided myself on having a good memory, but shit, man, you see all this grace, shoot. They say the first thing to do is fine.
Now you see exactly what I'm talking about. 'Cause
Yeah, man.
I can't remember nobody's phone number.
You know what? I stopped doing that when they added the area code.
So if I lose my phone, I'm out of luck.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah. You're
I
done
don't
deal,
know. I don't know anybody's phone number.
man. Shoot,
And I'm
you know
talking
what?
about kids, girlfriend. There's
The
and
only
they'll say, "You don't know my number?" But like, no, it's
No.
stored in my phone. I don't.
right, exactly. I think the only phone number that I actually remembered was actually my mother's. I think.
Mhm.
Yep, that was about it, and that was because she had the number since I was a teenager. Shit.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But yeah, it's crazy because like I can remember a number. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but right now, but so when I got my bail money and I know that I'm going that way,
Mhm.
you know, you got one phone call, so like I'll before I'll be like, hold on 1 second, I'll look at them, and I'll lock them mug in the head and say, you have a collect call from, hey man, over here to
Right.
get this money.
That's the
Go
one
get my
number
card and go buy my, oh, okay.
yeah, that's
Other
the
than
one
that,
number
man,
you keep in your head, man.
yeah. So after that, look, I'm old school, man. You better send me a letter or something, man. I ain't
Mhm.
got to be all on that damn phone check, homie. Because look, what happened? You only had a speed ticket. Motherfucker tried some dumb shit.
Right.
Flashback. You know what I'm saying? I had a flashback. So I don't even put myself in that predicament anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I look, hello, mother. Hello,
Right.
father. So look, I'll shoot you a scribe quick. But I hear now they don't even sell like in the jails, ain't no paper and ain't no stamps. No envelopes like that. It's all tablets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything is digital now. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Mm. Uh-huh.
I couldn't imagine doing time in a digital world, man, like that, man.
No, I mean that. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but
Hey,
hey.
man, listen, to me, I thought it was a privilege, but hey, apparently,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, shouldn't that be a
But
privilege?
I was
But
told it's not the same from when I was in.
Mhm.
I was told that uh, the breed of people in there,
Mhm.
marshmallow, it's not it's not as it's not as much of a dog eat dog world anymore in there.
Okay.
They're very pacified. Give them a
Mhm.
tablet and they okay. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Kind of like how the kids are in here with the video game. That's how they are in here with their tablets and stuff. I'm like, man,
Wow.
that's crazy. So as far as hard time, ain't no such thing anymore.
No such thing, man. Hey.
Yep, they in there on however many years they got. They on vacation basically, or on pause. I'm like, man, that's crazy work.
It is.
Crazy work. Shoot, we was in that mug scrapping and nickel and diamond and hustling and praying on the week and all types of stuff, trying to get through there, you know.
Mhm.
Now it's just like everybody, oh, like I had a TV, my silly didn't have a TV.
Mhm.
I had a radio, my silly had a radio.
Mhm.
Now everybody got.
Mhm.
I
That's
ain't figured out
interesting.
how that is though, because half of y'all went in with nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by
So,
that is you didn't have no. I mean, think about it. You in jail or sentenced to prison, but you was one of these dudes that was living with your mama or living in the basement of your mother's house. So how you got money for you know what I'm saying?
Well, you just answered your own question. They not spending money on nothing.
It's state issue there. Apparently, is what you know what I'm saying. That,
You know, I mean, if you living at home, so who's taking care of the house?
mama.
All right, so you're comfortable with that. You're you never had to actually pay a bill,
That part.
you know. So yeah, that comfort zone is very big for you, you know. So then you get locked down, you getting comforted even more.
You jumped your ass on that phone, mama.
Yeah, mom would do that, man. What? No. And of course, she's scrambling to get the money together to get
Oh
you
yeah.
out,
Oh
and
yeah.
so you can come back home and live with her again.
Oh yeah. Cause your ass in there doing them calendars. Let's say you got 5 to 10. She in there taking care of you.
Hmm.
Talking about some my baby.
Right.
My
Now
baby.
you come home and you still her baby because
Man, shit.
under her roof. I mean, I know you got to bounce back. It ain't gonna be simple to do it, but
What bounce
that's
back? Yeah, you didn't have nothing to bounce back to. Shit.
well, I'm just saying, bounce back to being comfortable.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
I guess.
You know?
Hey, what his name? Jody. Jody.
Right, you become that
Baby
baby boy, that baby boy to the fullest.
Oh man, that's crazy work, man. That is.
That movie was on point. I was like, man,
Yeah.
it ain't just young dudes. I know dudes in their 40s, almost 50, still living that kind of life. And I'm like, man, at some point, don't you get tired of that?
Man, one would think, but here's the thing: in order to do that, you got to have some testosterone.
And these are guys that never been locked up. You know,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
going. You know, maybe it's me. I know, and you can say the economy times are hard and this that, and the other, but
I
man,
don't give a damn shit.
don't you want your own place?
Man, listen.
You at your mama's house with your own room. You 50 years old. Something ain't adding up.
So, yeah, some what they call it that Oedipus syndrome or whatever that shit is,
What's it called?
where the boy is attracted to the mother.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
man,
type of shit.
I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I never could pronounce it right, but yeah, that's exactly this shit, man. That shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I was trying to get out of my mama's house, goddamn me. At 12, I'm like, man, she getting on my nerves.
All right, I'd be ready. It's time to break camp. I'm like, I gotta get up out of here.
Shit, didn't I tell you? Yes, you did. You
But
can't
then-
abide by my rules, get out. Shit, I so the hell did too. Shit.
And the killer part, this be the dude that's living in his mama's basement but driving the Benz. I'm like, now
That
Listen,
man,
let's do a little math here.
shit, I never understood it neither. That's like having that's like driving a Benz, but you live in the projects.
That too.
That don't make no sense. So you rather ride around stylish and have a decent crib over your head, a safe environment to live in. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, like I said, I was raised differently, so I don't get it.
Yeah,
I,
that's true.
I get
Hey,
it.
the new thing out here, man, this shit throws me off too. The new shit, man. These cats out here living in not the projects, but they living in the lower economy. All right, we'll say it that way.
Okay,
But they driving Teslas. How?
how?
I said, is there some kind of program that they sign up and I missed it? What the fuck is
That's
going
what I'm
on?
wondering. I'm wondering that too because I'm like, it got to be something I'm doing wrong, and it's not that I want a Tesla or nothing like that, but it's like
What the hell?
driving expensive cars, taking trips to Jamaica every other month.
Look, if they giving the motherfuckers away,
And I'm going, what are you doing that I'm not doing? Tell me the secret.
that's what I said, man. Look, if they giving them away, I need to.
I need to
where
know.
the line at.
Put me down on that program.
Right. I don't necessarily want one neither. But here's the thing: you get tired of paying for tires and replacing alternators and all this type of shit. Look, if I get an efficient car that's gonna drive itself, park itself, you know what I'm saying, and I can still live in, and I don't have to be a millionaire. Okay, sign me up. Shit.
I don't even want that. I want a personal driver, to be honest.
You say, man, give me that.
Yeah, I want to sit in the back seat. Yeah, I want to just get out, walk out the house, and sit in the back seat.
Oh shit!
I'm not talking about an Uber or a Lyft. I'm talking about a personal driver.
Hey, he said, man, where my Maybach at?
Yeah, exactly. hey, man, I need to run to the store. Okay, let's go.
You say, where my Jeffrey at? Shit.
Right. I need a butler, a maid, a personal driver.
Where the hell is my Jeffrey at?
Chef, I need it all.
Hey, Benson, where you at?
Like, y'all tell me what the secret is, because it's something that I'm doing wrong.
Crazy work, man. Crazy work. Yeah. Well, man, I'm gonna go ahead and
who was that on earlier? Your uncle or cousin?
Nah, that was the cousin. I'm from my mother's side.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like he said, I know you missed that part. He's a bit of a historian.
Okay.
Ex-military. So that's another thing as to why he is a reliable source for me.
Okay.
Because he was honorably discharged. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is they would consider him a rogue or a renegade because I'm out now and I'm gonna tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like shit. And that's another reason why I understand Fucci. I don't give a damn if it was 5, 10, like he I don't remember how many tours he did, but the thing about it is now he's no longer up under your gag order. And now he has the opportunity, and so he be sharing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, ooh.
No, that's why I was just like saying, let him have it. I didn't want to interrupt him.
Yeah, he was in a hell of a flow and shit. So
let me just hear what we got to say. You know?
It's crazy because like the history, man, the history and the lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, he was popping off some literature, but the thing about this is to hear about that time period hits better coming out of his mouth than me reading that book because he lived it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I will take sitting down with mother before I go and jump in a book that was written by some if I have the option, let me say it that way.
That's why I always stayed around her and talk to her constantly.
Exactly. Rather than take it from a book of somebody where I'm picking up their ideology or their interpretation or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, absolutely. But he's definitely he's got a lot of insight, man. He does.
Because it's like people, I can't really call him old. He's probably like 5, 6 years older than me.
Right.
But
61 and a half.
Yeah, like you say, 61 and a half. I thought that was hilarious. It's like people that were born like you said, like a mother that was born like in the 20s.
Yeah. It's
like that's real history to me.
Right.
Than for me to read it in a book, because she would tell me things that I was going, wow, that that was really rough.
Yeah.
But what I think is rough is nothing. She would tell me about stuff that I was like, man, y'all actually live like that?
Right.
That's
Yeah,
the way things work.
I mean, like to know that she to support the kids, she was in houses, cleaning houses and playing
Yeah, all their life.
the nanny and the maid and shit, like yo, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, I never had the opportunity. That's why I asked him. I don't know if you were there when I asked him. I asked him. I said, "Did you actually have the opportunity to enjoy my great grandmother?" You know what I'm saying? My great grandmother Gussie.
Mhm,
So my great grandmother was born on a plantation. You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
So she experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I was asking. Well, did you actually get because to sit around and man, I would love the opportunity. I would have loved the opportunity to sit around and talk to her and hear the experiences of what was going on versus what I've read in the books and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? What's been told to me in the classrooms, this, that, and the third. Even my grandmother who was actually Indian, you know what I'm saying? She's was born on a reservation. So like that in itself, to be able to, if I'd have had the opportunity to sit down and talk with her,
Right.
unfortunately she passed before I was born. But
Okay.
sitting down talking to my aunts and my uncles, my mother's brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, and hearing the stories and like, oh wow,
Mhm.
that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it hits different. You know what I'm saying? To know that what we seen on these commercials and see on TV with the pale face Indian with the single tit, that's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this woman here, her pictures downstairs on my living room. That's why when he was showing that picture, when he was standing next to the picture and there was and I was like, man, it looked like grandma. You
Yeah.
know,
So. Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So to know that, and she looked like me.
Mhm.
She looked nothing like what you see in these cowboy and Indian movies.
Half
You know
of
what I'm
them,
saying?
half
So
of them were white men with paint on their face.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? Uh, 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 that's what prompted me to start learning about the $5 Indians and where all this came from. And you know what I'm saying? So when you start, that's why I said on another episode, I want to bring him back when we start talking about lineages and ancestry.com and 23andMe and all that type of stuff, because he knew my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? So he gonna tell some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Uh, and as you can see, but also I also have African in me, so like that part, you know what I'm saying? Now he may not have it, but I do, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy. I need to find well, I don't need to find him. I know where he is. I need to call him and get some scheduled time to get my other cousin in here. Um he's from Africa. He didn't get here until he was 12. We graduated from Camel together. Graduated high school together. But the things that he's told me and taught me about, like, man, so yeah, I definitely want to get him in here. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I feel like I'm realistically, I feel I'm not lucky. I feel very fortunate to be able to have um, sources where I can go straight and get it from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Versus having to read indoctrinations or about things. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody who actually lived it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's a big difference.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. I don't know, man. Any closing comments?
No, not really, because I jumped in late, but
I did.
I just sat back and just listened today. So
Nah, it'd be like this sometime. It'd be like this sometime.
it's like I became one of the viewers today.
Shoot. Hey, look, I felt like that when he came on. I kept having this. Oh, let me say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was like,
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, just let me let him go.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wanted to let him go too, but then I keep forgetting I'm on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, you know, you can't have it just like, all right, well, what's this? It's just a speak all, you know?
Right. Yeah. No interaction, but no.
Absolutely.
That was cool. Let's say if I got a closing thought, I would say, where the women at?
Nobody was here today, man. We only
No,
got
I'm not talking about as far as in the comments. I'm like, jump in.
shoot, man.
I don't know what is it. Is it too much intimidation or what? But jump in.
I don't know, man. It could be. I don't know. This might have just been one of them topic type joints where, like,
Yeah,
okay,
I
well,
get it.
and then people know. At this point, they know. We're not about to just let you get away with anything or not spray you down. So like it's like, yeah, I don't want to go on there and then make a
Get
fool of myself
attacked.
or feel like I'm being
attacked.
verbally assaulted and shit. So
Right.
it's certain topics you do got to realize some of them are going duck. You know what I'm saying? Or
I mean, it's not like, you know, I don't want to drag this on, but it's not like we're name calling and
no. But
you know,
again,
this, that, and the other. But it's just a straight up conversation.
right? But you got to realize half of them ain't talkers for real. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them. Here's the thing, man. I can't stress this enough. The viewers, especially the female viewers, because that's predominantly what we have, right?
Okay.
The female viewers, a female's loyalty and her interaction with you is based off of her attraction to you. That her support is her support and her loyalty is based off of her attraction to you. And if you notice, right, when we first started, I ain't gonna drop no names, but it was a bunch of females in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, aunt. Right? Now they're not here. We got 2 viewers, right?
So basically, I've become unattractive.
It's not even. It's not just you, though.
It's what you said.
Right. It's not just you, because here's the thing. Think about who was tuned in on my behalf, and think about where they at now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna blame you for that one real quick. I'm gonna blame you for that one because you created some bad interactions.
Man, nah, I didn't.
Yeah, come on, Dad. We talk about taking ownership. You created some bad interactions.
Here's the thing, right? No, I didn't. Because here's the thing, I didn't create them. I created the show. They came in on some follow me type shit, and then try to get catty and shit.
Okay.
And thought, okay, so then when that didn't work, if you recognize, it was kind of like some Bill Bellamy how to be a player type shit, where they thought they was going, and that didn't work.
Yeah, because I got caught in the middle of one of them little interactions.
Okay,
right.
Like, so then it
turned. Why am I a part of this? You know?
Hey, shit. Okay, look. So after they realized that didn't happen, and okay, well, he's not giving into. So it was like, all right, well, so where they at now?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So now the new followers, they'll rotate. As you can see, there's new faces in here. You'll see that and then eventually you'll see that they'll trickle off.
Okay. I mean, I get it. I get it.
Think about it, right? Think about it like this, right? It's a gender neutral, but it's a gender neutral thing. But who predominantly is a cheerleader?
No, a woman.
So we had a bunch of cheerleaders. They oh well, they weren't getting what they wanted, the attention, the attraction, whatever have you. New dude giving them more whatever it may be. Gone. Cool. All right. Next wave is gonna come in. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'll give you the attention if you want it, but it's just I will, but I'm not gonna cater to you. Let's make that clear.
I'm not doing that neither, because here's the thing, right? You also got to realize like this, right? This is another thing too. and this is why I want to get the hell off of this Facebook bullshit. I'm pretty sure Charlemagne, there's chicks that know who Charlemagne is, and he deals with them or whatever have you, some form of level, right?
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure there's some females that Noriega deals with, but they ain't calling in and jumping all in. Oh, hey,
Okay.
there's a level of professionalism that the viewers should actually have. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me actually like, hey, yo, shut the fuck up and or chill the fuck out, you know what I'm saying? I just let them, I ignored it and continued on with the show. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It showed me, and this is why I continued to do what I was doing, because it showed me that, truth be told, it wasn't about the show. You didn't respect the show. You was trying to gain my attention.
Yeah, trying to create conflicts.
And I paid you no mind.
And it was certain shows where that happened.
Absolutely.
I saw it firsthand, and I was like, man, what's going on?
Right.
Where's this coming from?
And I didn't feed. You see what I'm saying? I continued on with the show. I kept a level of professionalism. You see what I'm saying? Now, you might have got an earful in the chat or a phone call afterwards or whatever have you, but in the same aspect, no, I got you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If this is if this is your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think you're gonna keep your job if your girlfriend or your ex or some or some chick that like you keep popping up at your job?
Yeah, it ain't gonna last too long. But
okay,
given the climate of what people want, that might just be the route to go. you know what I'm saying?
Type shit, yeah.
I'm saying that might be the route to go, because it's people that they want that, and they be the main ones yelling, "Oh, I just want peace in my life." No, you don't.
Right.
You want the drama.
Absolutely.
You want the chaos. You want it to be that kind of situation. So stop saying you want peace when I see posts from certain people that ain't gonna call
all day long, right?
All day long with drama, but you yelling about you want peace.
Right.
You obviously don't. You enjoy the drama, the conflict, the chaos. So stop it with the, oh, I just want peace in my life. You stop lying to the world. You don't.
There was a post, without name dropping, there was a post the other day that I saw, and he finally commented on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, I said in the comment right up on him, I said, man, it's about time some honesty was actually said around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't keep sitting up talking shit on me or making me look like I'm not about my business and think that we're gonna continue to be together. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of crazy to me. Like, I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? You steady browbeating. You do what single women do. Oh, men ain't shit, da 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 da. But you got a man, and then y'all friends on the book, and he's sitting there seeing this shit every fucking day.
And says nothing.
Got your motherfucking mind. I'd be like, listen, I ain't gonna tell you that you can't have a Facebook, but I'm gonna tell you like this: I got one more time for that bullshit to come through my feed, and you ain't never got to worry about me again.
Right. No,
you know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I'm not even worried about mixed signals, because I don't give a damn what the next person think. But for real, I'm sitting there reading this shit, and it's just disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I didn't mean to run nobody away, but
man, listen. No, again, it's the nature of women, and not unfortunately, but coincidentally, our fan base is predominantly females,
which I'm surprised by.
Well, not really, because females like drama.
But where's the drama at? Is it something?
There is no drama, but what it is,
that's something like, is it something that I'm missing?
Yeah, because they're trying to create it, but we don't feed into it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So here's the thing, right? A shit starter is going to be a shit starter. Once they realize that they can't create no bullshit, they move the fuck on. And that's exactly what happened. Because the fact of the matter is, the same person that was calling in and heckling and all this shit in the post
Mhm.
was at work. You at work now, but you sure the fuck ain't on here now.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And it's not because you blocked her. I told you don't come on this motherfucker. You popped up yesterday, in fact.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting, but
But I tell you like this, not that I tell you like this. It's also because, and this is why I said the attraction, because now you have a boyfriend. You see what I'm saying? So you're no longer trying to sniff up my ass. You get what I'm saying?
right.
So you might pop in and see what's going on, but you ain't gonna stick around like you were.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Bottom line, it's your fault.
Hey, listen,
It's
I
your fault.
love it.
It's your
I love
fault.
it. I mean, shit, you got to figure like this too, right? One of the biggest followers at the time was who? My bestie, right?
Right.
We don't even speak now. You see what I'm saying? So again, like I said, what was that about?
I guess just to see what you were talking about outside of the conversation that you two were having.
Wait, one more time.
I said, I guess because they wanted to see what you were talking about
Oh,
outside of the conversation that the two of you were having.
yeah. I mean, again, when you can't have things your way, or if you feel like you ain't getting what you want, what happens?
So as all I can say is by me being the outsider,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to see, okay, what is he talking about? And then probably said, oh, I like him now, but tomorrow I don't know if I'm gonna really like him.
Hey, listen, it's fine by me. Listen,
And it don't bother me, but
right.
I'm just. Bottom line is, I'm looking forward to a female actually tuning in, getting on camera, and saying what you got to say. That's it.
I'm gonna tell you like this: you better off recruiting one, not expecting one coming from a viewer. You better off recruiting one.
Well, hey,
Honest God truth, because here's the thing, right? To bring one here, I mean to get one from the viewer thing,
mhm,
ain't gonna stick around.
mhm,
As soon as they get in their feelings,
mhm.
you see what I'm
Well,
saying? You better off recruiting, or it's better off being a recruited person. Hey, how you feel about being on a podcast? Oh, for real? Yeah, what y'all be talking about? Da, 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 da. But as far as if you ain't gonna stick around,
yeah, because
you ain't gonna stick around,
we both heard it so many times. Oh yeah, I'm gonna join in. I'm gonna
right?
get my computer set up and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, where you at?
Never. And
Like,
trust and believe they on every damn social media,
yeah, I'm like, so
from TikTok to the T app. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Trust and believe they on the motherfucker. So
I'm like,
it's not
where you at?
they don't want that. They don't want that.
Like I said, changed my mind on a few things.
They don't want.
Seriously, that's all I'm asking. Just change my mind on a few things.
If you first off, you got to have a strong viewpoint too. Like if we could have a even panel
Hmm.
where it's two guys and two chicks, then yeah, that might pan out because then she feel like she got some support. But to put a female in between it, man, please, she better be strong as shit.
Okay.
She better be strong as shit because here's the thing: you're not gonna let nothing slide, and I damn sure ain't about to let nothing slide.
Like I said, it's not about intimidation.
No, it's not. But the thing
It's
about it
just
is, you can't just let no bullshit fall out and think a motherfucker is gonna eat
I'll laugh and joke with anybody, but
it.
at some
Shit.
point I'm gonna go, oh, you actually said that, huh?
That part, and that's what I'm saying. They don't want to deal with that.
You
They
actually
don't want to
said
deal
that.
with that.
Okay, so here's my response to that.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with that shit.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
man. So as usual, we hit that 3-hour mark. So
Snapple facts, man.
about that time.
Yes. It's been a pleasure. I will catch y'all on the other one. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in. This has been a great episode, another episode of Tell Like It Is podcast. Looking forward to seeing y'all on the next one, man.
Yep, we'll see y'all. Tune in.
Yes, sir.